Loving a person is eccentric, despite whoever or what kind of person she is. We always tend to overlook that because of the reasons you love them, right? We are so blind when love happens, thinking we cannot find someone like them anymore. Greetings to everyone. Today, I will tell you two stories about the relationship between a gold digger and the rich, and when she was going to buy an apartment, then overheard the conversation of her husband with his mother. The whole thing changed. Please like and subscribe to the channel before continuing to bring you exciting new content like this. Set the bell to ring if we post a new story if you don't want to miss a single one. Spending your money on loved ones is not totally a bad thing, but you must take precautions, especially that gold diggers are everywhere. A writer named Edmund Biarca from the US once said that money attracts people, but not always the right ones. So it is much better to wait for someone who genuinely loves you than spending your money on people who love only what you have. Meet Bridget Lawrence, a woman who has everything, born to billionaire parents. She has a luxurious house that everybody dreams of living in and can easily go to different countries whenever she wants. But this woman never thought of having everything as something to boast to others about. She and her sister, named Anna, were raised by their parents like regular kids. Their parents would discipline them if they displayed terrible behaviour. When she grew up, she met a handsome young man and she fell in love with the moment she looked upon his lovely face. They started seeing each other and she was having the best days of her life. His sweetness caught Bridget's heart off guard. Bridget had a thought in her mind that someday she will marry him. When they're dating, she always goes to fancy restaurants. For Bridget, it was romantic. But little by little, she started to notice that every time they're on a date, she's the one who pays for everything. But she set aside that thought because she loves him. On the other hand, the handsome young man made it clear to Bridget that he wants a woman who can take good care of him. So Bridget, with her genuine intention and pure love, made sure to provide everything that he needs, everything that he wants, regardless of the price. Not until Anna, her sister, noticed that Bridget seemed to spend too much money on her boyfriend. Anna claimed that Bridget's boyfriend is just using her, so she made plans to have a date with her lover. She planned to tell him that she forgot to bring her wallet to prove her sister wrong. To her surprise, her boyfriend insisted on calling her family for the payment, and that's why Bridget questioned him. He answered that he doesn't have enough money to pay for an expensive restaurant, so she told him to bring her somewhere that's not expensive. He did, but when it was time to pay, she still ended up paying. Bridget and her partner continued to date anywhere she wants as long as she is the one paying. He doesn't want to go out on dates when she doesn't have money. Then one day, she told him that she no longer had money to pay for everything. He stops reaching out to her, and she finds out that her man is pursuing her best friend, which she's grateful for because her friend refuses to go along with it. One day, her friend told her to buy an apartment for her lover, and she did. The young man became sweet to her again, and soon she overheard the young man and his mother conversing and instructing him to take her for everything. Since that day, Bridget has learnt that he was really using her to have everything he wants. She mentioned it to her sister, and when she ran out of money, he left her hanging and began seeing anyone who was wealthy again. She plans to expose him by recording their calls to warn others from falling for his tricks. Their relationship is purely a cycle of full manipulation. Without her money, he never cares for her. After recording everything, Bridget sets a party and invites all of their friends. And while having fun, she plays the audio file in front of everyone to embarrass him. The young man runs from the party, and since that day, they never saw him again. Bridget was grateful that she learnt that people would just use her for what she has. She was disappointed to know this because she genuinely loved her boyfriend. So now she decided not to tell any more about her background while dating. All she wanted is to find someone that genuinely loves her and not her money. Meet Lawrence Kim, and this story about how he fell in love with a gold digger. In 2003, he met her on the internet at findapics.com. During that time, they were both 18 years of age. Lawrence was only in college when he knew her, and he doesn't have much money to show for because he still relies upon his mother. They both get along quickly after knowing her. They communicate more frequently now and then, and she'd always emphasize her desire to marry a wealthy man. She dreams of having expensive things like Jimmy Choos and Louis Vuitton and wants to live a luxurious life. Their connection gets stronger as the day passes by. One day, Lawrence decides to meet her, so he borrows his mother's car to go where she is. It's ironic because both of their vehicles have a problem and they could not meet up with each other. For him, it feels like the world is warning them that it will not work out between them. Regardless of what happened, Lawrence ignores the sign. He was already in love with her and fully committed to her. But on the other hand, the girl was being honest. She did share how she felt about his financial situation and criticized him for not being rich. As a result, he was motivated to become wealthy. He worked hard and made sure that everything he does is in line with his goal. He doesn't have time for pointless pursuits. Lawrence applies for a job at Mackey's Beverly Center with no experience and nothing but a willingness to work. He eventually got the job and had the chance to begin courting her by sending a present. The only way she'll notice him is by sending her a lot of presents. As time passed by, the girl had gotten herself into trouble. She came to Lawrence and asked for a $1,000 loan because she was having financial difficulties. He agreed to lend her the money by giving her his wallet, and because he trusted her. He believes that she would return it right away. She goes out and realizes she didn't have enough money to pay off her debts, so she gambled it all away. After what she did, Lawrence asked her to return his wallet, but she refused to return it, maybe because it was a Louis Vuitton wallet. He got filled with so much anger with her and figured he wouldn't get back his money. He then wrote a letter saying that she could go to hell. A year later, he got a chance to get his wallet back through a friend that knew her ex. Lawrence broke up with her and focused on his career only while the ex was sent to Santa Barbara. Lawrence was now 20 years old and living in Manhattan Beach in 2005. His ex called him out of nowhere and wanted to talk. At this time, he already had a new girlfriend. Still, amid everything, he somehow wants to have his ex in his life. He decides to meet her again, and they went on a trip. They talked throughout the day, and when the night came, he kissed her. He felt butterflies run down to his stomach. He knew from that he still loved her. Lawrence cheated on his girlfriend and got back with his ex. He desired to share the rest of his life with his ex-girlfriend. Then they lived together, and every day seemed excellent, especially having her by his side. As time went by, they made mistakes, got to drugs, and became lost in life. Both of them got controlled by money and ended up losing each other. When they broke up, he was really sad and didn't know what to do anymore with his life. Lawrence tried to win her back by sending expensive things, but it doesn't work anymore. Still, he doesn't give up and pursues her, although she despises him. He got his life back on track again and almost won her back. But the world is really playful, and something happened that ruined his life again. Despite what happened to him, the girl wants to get back together with him. He felt so embarrassed and thought that he was not enough for her, so he pushed her away. Days passed by. Lawrence realized he couldn't live without her. Feeling shameful, he asked her back. And now that they are back together again, it seems like the woman can't forget what happened before, and always points that out, that it's his fault whenever she gets drunk. In 2011, she left Lawrence's life once again. When his girlfriend left him, it felt like his world was empty, so he intended to take his life and then writes his final farewell letter. But she intervenes and prevents him from doing so. Their relationship was a roller coaster and they were no longer compatible together. One night, they went to a karaoke bar for a drink. Without any apparent reason, she pushed Lawrence away. However, Lawrence didn't mind the incident. He walked away, mindless of what was happening around. He reached home. Unfortunately, no matter how drunk he is, he can still feel the pain within. His heart is bleeding. It was excruciating for him. His mind went wild like a crazy man. He can no longer contain what he was feeling. He can't think straight. This leads him to jump straight from the fence to the ground. Morning came, and Lawrence realized he broke his ankle. His friend saw that he was crying, so he approached him with so much concern that he told him to call his mother. After calling her, his mother dialed his grandmother's number, who then sent the cousin to pick Lawrence up. He was escorted to a foot specialist to check his foot. While he was in the hospital, he was still weeping, thinking why his girlfriend pushed him away that night. Lawrence was also told by the doctor that he needed surgery and needed 3 months to heal the foot. But his ex never visited him when he was in the hospital. That's when he realized he no longer loved her. Being in love with someone is a fantastic feeling, but bear in mind that genuine love does not involve wealth. It takes many things to find true love. That's it for today's video. What do you think about these stories? Please let me know what you think in the comments section below. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to receive updates on new materials. With that being said, I'll see you at the next one.